Hello friends and enemies, I'm Baltmatrix, and today we are taking a look at Transformers War for Cybertron Deluxe Class CHEETOR. I picked this figure up over at thecommandstore.com. I also have an order from Big Bad Toy Store coming, and those are going to be given away to my patrons. So if you're not a Patreon member, please be sure to head down to the link in the description and sign up. Your monthly financial contribution really does help out quite a bit. So we've got CHEETOR here, and for all intents and purposes, it's a pretty okay looking figure. The proportions are a little bit odd, and cheetah feet on the shins is a little weird as a choice, but what are you gonna do? Head sculpt is pretty good. It's not perfect. I think that the antenna coming off the top of his head need to be a little bit thinner, and I just can't help but feeling that the eyes are the wrong color, but that might be clouded by my thoughts regarding Beast Wars CHEETOR and Cyberverse CHEETOR, which are essentially the same designs, but different figures completely. I feel that the paint on this figure is a little bit off. I'll talk about that in a minute. The one accessory that the figure comes with is a wonderful homage back to the original Transmetal 1 figure, and that is his tail whip. That's a nice homage. I appreciate that callback. Unfortunately, the figure doesn't come with any guns. I would have liked him to. That would have been nice, but oh well. Head is on a ball joint, can look up that much, can't look down at all. Swivels and hinges in the shoulders, though the articulation is greatly hampered by the cat kibble. Kind of expected that. It's not the biggest deal in the world. There is an extra joint in here for folding the arm in or folding the shoulder in so you could get an outward pose. Bicep swivel, bend at the elbow, and then a fist swivel. There is torso articulation for days. Figures can kick forward about 90 degrees, but you have to move the crotch armor out of the way. Figure cannot kick back at all because of the cheetah butt. There is bend at the knee at about 90 degrees, and then foot articulation is forward and way back, and then you've got the ankle articulation that's crazy good. Unfortunately, the figure does not possess any siege ports other than his fists and what's on the bottom of his feet. And there is one big old port for his butt, so you could theoretically plug a gun into his butt. And there is a little stand port right in front of it. Beans! Hard to digest! Lean the head back a little bit and then spin it around fully. Move the arms up out of the way and open up the abdomen all the way. Grab the beast head and pull it away from the figure, then fold it up and flush and put it over top the robot head. Close the cheetah mouth. Straighten the arms back out. Turn the forearms so the elbow joint is pointing in. Plug the outside cheetah armor up into the cheetah bits. Turn the fist so that the thumb is pointing towards the front of the figure. Close the chest and attach the cheetah bits next to each other. Make sure the bottom of the fists are pointing down towards the front of the figure. Move the front cheetah legs down and spin the feet around. Fold the feet up and push them into the back legs until the bottom cheetah paws pop down. Then fold the cheetah paws all the way down. Fold the cheetah thigh in and then pose the toe. Then plug the top of the tail into the entrance to the waste disposal unit. As you just saw, the transformation is surprisingly simple given the nature of the figure and the size of it. I'm pleasantly surprised, and it's a very effective cheetah mode. It's very effective. I don't really have any complaints other than one small thing, and this is totally easily fixed. There are no pupils on the eyes. I just wish there was a pupil for the eye, but I totally understand why there isn't. Just me being weird. The cheetah mode has some really nice posability. Unfortunately, the head doesn't move, but the mouth does. That's part of the transformation, so it can open up quite a bit. Arms, or front limbs, I should say, are on swivels and then ball joints, and then there's a swivel at the first ankle and a ball joint at the second ankle, and everything is tight. Rear is much the same. There is a little bit of wiggle for where the robot legs are, swivels and hinges, and then more hinges and more hinges, or I'm sorry, ball joints there at the toes. Unfortunately, the tail does not pose, which is a shame, but what are you gonna do? Overall, I think this cheetah mode is quite good and very successful. and I think it goes without saying, our new CHEETOR is worlds better than Cyberverse CHEETOR. It still bums me out that we've never gotten a properly good deluxe class version of Cyberverse CHEETOR. Man, that design is so good, it deserves better. A quick size comparison with Warpath and Sunstreaker in vehicle mode, you can see that it pretty much scales, or CHEETOR pretty much scales perfectly to the deluxe class vehicle modes. It's a surprisingly good figure. I really didn't have high hopes for the Cheetah Mode, and I'm legitimately pleasantly surprised. So the one thing in Cheetah Mode that you can do is simply remove the tail, and then he will be able to be fit onto a figure stand like so you could get some flying kitty attack poses. You just have to leave this off to the side. I am very pleasantly surprised with CHEETOR. I am. I was not expecting to like this figure. Is it perfect? No, it isn't. I really think that this powder blue should be darker. That's my biggest gripe, is I just think the paint is wrong. But the posability is pretty darn good. The figure holds together well in both modes. It's fun to transform. It's very, very accurate to the original, I almost said Generation 1 figure, to the original Beast Wars figure. And it's cool. It's legitimately cool. I would really be curious to see if Hasbro decides to make a Transmetal version of this, because I could see what they could do to easily to make a Transmetal version. They already have some of the DNA in that Transmetal version here. Obviously the tail weapon, but the arms could easily be adapted to have the beast head on top. The shoulders could be rehinged so that they fold down and flip over the robot head. And there's enough here to easily put this as a backpack, and then the legs are already attached, so you just fold them up. And yeah, it would be a completely different figure, but it would be very cool. Okay, so what don't I like about the figure overall? I've already said some of the paint. I think some of the paint needs fixed. The other thing I'm not a fan of are the ankles. I just don't think these swivels are tight enough, but again, some Pledge Future floor polish dipped onto these joints, I think will make a big difference. So I'll do that and report back at some point. So folks, let me know what you think of the figure down in the comments. Be sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons. Thank you so much for watching. I have been Baltmatrix, and I'll catch you all next time.